Hi, I'm Pete McConville and this is Not So Obvious Watches. Welcome back. Like every other YouTuber, vlogger, Facebook poster, Discord runner, podcaster, whatever you name it, I'm going to give you my hot take on the new Patek and Tiffany&Co co-branded Nautilus 5711, the one with the pretty blue dial. I feel almost dirty doing this, like I'm somehow perpetuating the hype. And should I be adding my match to the bushfire that's raging? On the other hand, there's a part of me thinking I'm only throwing a match into a bushfire that's already burning. I'm not going to make it worse, and why shouldn't I have my fun as well? So with all of that said, let's get into it, and I'll give you my actual, I think it turns out to be 4 hot takes on the industry, this watch, Patek, everything, from watching this new Nautilus release. Okay, so let's get into my hot takes coming from my look at the new co-branded Patek and Tiffany&Co 5711 in Tiffany blue. The first hot take is we are approaching a point at which the business and the hype and the buzz around a watch is more important than the watch itself. This watch release is incredibly uninteresting. It is a minor color and iconography does change, if you like, from 1,000,001 prior 5711s, and yet everyone, including me, is falling over themselves about this watch. What we're not talking about in general is the watch. We're talking about the business side, the relationship between LVMH and Patek. What does this mean in terms of hype? What does this mean in terms of sale? We're looking forward to what is this thing going to achieve at auction. My hot take is, this watch really illustrates that for many watches, it's no longer about the watch. It's all about the industry splash, the business of the watch. It's no longer the watch as an instrument for telling time, not even about the watch as a piece of jewelry. It's about the watch as a financial instrument, as a stock or a bond that we cheer on. Okay, so just having said that we don't really spend a lot of time caring about the watch itself, now I will. Let's talk about my reaction to the watch and how it looks. I am profoundly disappointed. I do not think this is a good-looking watch in any way, shape, or form. I don't love the Nautilus. I think it's a little half-hearted, a little wishy-washy. It's kind of a watered-down, diluted idea of the concepts behind the Royal Oak. That said, it's not an unpleasant watch. There are many iterations of it that I rise to like. This is not one of them. More than anything else, those black indice surrounds, those black hand surrounds look, frankly, tacky. They look totally out of place, and they, for me, make the entire watch look cheap. I don't like this watch. I do not think it's a particularly good version of the Nautilus. I don't think it's aesthetically pleasing at all. That last point is going to lead me into my hot take number 3. Many of you, having just said, I don't like those indices surrounds, I don't like that black, it looks cheap and tacky, you're going to respond by saying, oh, Pete, you've only seen the photos. In real life, it's going to look amazing, or it does look amazing, or I've seen it, God forbid, and it looks fantastic. To which I would respond, for this watch, and potentially for a number of other watches like this, what it's like in real life is now irrelevant. For the vast majority of us, these watches and this watch only exist as NFTs. They only exist as digital representations. The digital representation is the reality. They're making 170 of these watches. These watches are of those watches, my guess is precisely zero are made available to, I'll say, regular customers at retail. My guess is all 170 have been pre-allocated, and if you haven't got one, you're not getting one. In that world, the physical watch is a myth. The physical watch isn't real. What's real for us, what our experience of the watch is the digital representation, is the video, is the photo. If it doesn't look good in video, if it doesn't look good in the photo, then it doesn't look good. It's not a good looking watch. And like I said, this has probably been kicking around for a while. This is the Nautilus. This Nautilus is probably not the first watch for which that's true. But it's the first time it's actually sprung to my mind of saying, yeah, for watches like this, the actual watch, the actual physical artifact is a theoretical construct. The only thing that really matters is the digital representation. And my last hot take out of this look at the new Tiffany&Co Patek 5711 is this watch shows us that no brand is immune to the addiction of hype generation, whether that's through the watches that they release, or through the watches that they discontinue, or through the watches that they tease, or through the discontinuances they tease at. Every brand, no matter how big, how powerful, how storied, how historic, if it gets a whiff of hype in the air, can't help but pounce on it. You might think that cheapens the brand, but I think perhaps today we simply have to realize if Patek can't resist that lure, no one can resist that lure. And this is a reality of the watch industry today. So that's it. They're my, if I remember rightly, 4 hot takes on this. Like I said, I think it's more about the industry and the stuff that surrounds the watch that's probably more interesting than the watch itself. In many ways, the watch itself here is pretty dull. That we are all so wrapped up in it, I think says as much about us as anything else. Anyway, so what are your thoughts? What do you think about this watch? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think this is the most fascinating watch ever released? And of course, we should all be getting super excited about a new color variant of the Nautilus. Or are you a little bit like me, a little bit jaded, a little bit cynical, but also looking at this a bit like a car crash? I don't want to watch a car crash, but if it's happening, I don't want to miss it. Yeah, I don't know. Leave me your thoughts, your comments, your ideas below. I've been Pete McConville. This has been Not So Obvious Watches. As I said, I keep forgetting, please like and subscribe. It helps me out enormously. And I'll see you later. Bye.